Season 3 greetings, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 46 of 99, only 2 days before the new year of 2023. Yes. So we're pressing on towards the mark of the high calling in Christ Jesus, trying to make 100 because 99 and a half podcasts just won't do. But we have to first thank God for his son, Jesus, whose birthday we just recently celebrated, because he was born to die for our sins and have blessed us with this opportunity to come before you tonight on this special Friday night live show, because we're pressing on towards the mark. So we're going to focus on God tonight. No, we're focusing on life. I'm sorry, focusing on life tonight.
On family.
On family. We've been on God for the last couple weeks, so I'm still kind of stuck on that theme, but we're going to focus on life and family tonight. Mm-hmm. But we focused on God because of the Christmas season. Mm-hmm. And our topic on last week was, why do people take Christ out of Christmas and use the abbreviation Xmas? And my wife, she's refrained to say, she said, I'm not going to say that abbreviation. It's not going to be in my vocabulary. But our subtopic on last week was the origin of Xmas and the birth date of Jesus Christ, which is December the 23rd, was those two origins paganistic? And how important are they to you? And why we prefer to keep Christ in Christmas. So we're switching the family on this week, and we're just excited about our show on today. The topic is the Best Man California rendition. And our subtopic is we're going to comparing the similarities of our son, BS3 childhood friendships, to one of our favorite movies and the cast.
Yeah, so before we get started on this Friday Night Live, we definitely got to give a shout out. Wow, we're shouting out our son, BS3, Ben Sudderth III. I call him Boss Man.
The pod father.
There you go, the pod father, Mr. Podcaster himself, that just works tirelessly and making sure we bring that spirit of excellence in everything that we do. So we honor our son on tonight, and to think that he's on our episode 99. Almost to that 100. So we thank you, son, for engaging us in this arena. Didn't think that we would be engaged but so long, but anyway, we're grateful for that. And to let our guests know that he offers coaching on the podcasting arena. And so if anyone is interested that is viewing, please get in contact with him. He is capable and more than willing to lead and guide you through that process.
Oh, yes.
And of course, if you'd like to be a part of BS3 Network, but if not, I'm sure that he would help you through that process. And we are now on Roku TV. If you have not downloaded Roku on your new device that you just got for Christmas, I'm sure, we invite you to check us out. There's 45 to 50 podcasters that are airing shows, even church services. We got one with us today, Pastor Derek. So check out the content. There's something for everyone. And don't forget about Sudds-R-Us. Our Gmail address is on your screen. Check us out on Roku as well, and this will definitely be uploaded on Roku soon. So we thank you so much for joining, and we're going to pause for a station identification. We'll be right back.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
All right. Thank you once again for tuning in. Now, we got a special edition on tonight. This Friday Night Live, the Best Man California rendition. This is how we're going to do. We're going to start out a little different. So what we're going to do, we're going to describe your friend's personality. Instead of having you introduce yourself from the beginning on your own, we're going to describe your friend's personality, and then we want you to guess who we're describing. So we're going to first start off with this friend. He's a comedian. He's observant, amusing, intelligent, undercover hilarious, pure-hearted, truly upstanding, and trustworthy. Who does this describe?
Ben?
Yeah.
That's Ben.
That's Ben.
Very good. Very good. That's Ben. That's Ben. I
Ben.
get, Trey couldn't say himself, so he had to say something.
Yeah, I said Ben.
I understand. Very good. Y'all got it. Ben. Here's number 2. The second friend's personality. Laid back, funny, balanced, extrovert, optimistic, reliable, committed, undercover crazy, pure-hearted, and truly upstanding. Who does this describe?
This
That's Derek.
That's Derek.
Tyann.
Y'all know each other. Y'all doing good. Y'all know
And
each
Trina
other.
said, what'd you say, Trina?
Is that Tyann? Is that Tyann?
Tyann not undercover nothing.
Oh, no,
Tyann is
undercover crazy. You're right. I forgot that one.
Wait a minute. What does undercover crazy mean?
That means
Let
on
me
the
go-
surface, you're a pastor, but undercover, you crazy.
Yeah. They don't know that you crazy.
They don't know.
We all know you crazy though. We know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, you.
So cool with it. Cool
Yeah,
and
yeah.
crazy, huh? So here's our next friend. Smart, thoughtful, loves to laugh, risk taker, trailblazer, always right, always there when you're in need. So who is this referring to?
Trina.
That's Trina.
Oh, okay.
That's
They
Trina.
pointed you
And
out.
he led with smart.
It
He
was
knew
the
who that was.
smart.
Hey!
It's the
No, it was the always right that got me.
Always right, they got you.
I'll take that. Let me get that on the shirt.
That's
That was a
always
good
right
one.
for me.
That was
huh?
good.
It's the always
Okay,
right.
here's the final one, which is not going to be very challenging because you got the other ones. But anyway, pure-hearted and truly upstanding, funny, loyal, friend, caring, ride or die, dependable, and intelligent. So who is
Tyann all day.
Tyann.
Me.
All day.
Yeah,
Tyann.
There you
All
go.
right.
Tyann, aka the plug. Yes.
The ride or die.
What Trey say? AKA what?
The plug. He always got to hook up on
Always.
something.
Always.
He got the hook up.
Okay, so we're gonna go now. We're gonna do a little round robin. We'll go around now. We describe your personality, but what we want you to do is just share with our audience a little bit about yourself regarding where you are today before we dig into your past. But what's going on right now? Let's start off with Pastor Derek.
Well, I am a lowly pastor of a small congregation in Oakland, California. Now, I'm a husband, a father, pastor. That's pretty much me in a nutshell right now where I'm at today. I don't do a whole lot of anything unless, me and Tyann may hit up a bowling alley or gun range when we got time. But other than that, that's me.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, nice to meet you, Pastor
Nice
Derek.
to meet you. All right. We can't save the best lady to last, so we're gonna go with her now. Trina?
The best.
Yeah, I like that.
I know.
I am a wife. I'm a mom now. I am a pediatric nurse practitioner by trade, but a stay-at-home mom by choice.
Oh, congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah. So, out here, no longer in these streets.
No belong to him no more. Yeah.
I don't belong to them no more.
You never did.
living in San Diego, by way of Atlanta. I've been here for like 2 years now, and just making our way.
Okay.
All right. Okay, T-Mac, Tyan.
Ah, man. Man, jack of all trades, master of none type situation here. So currently, first off, I'm a father of 4, married, work in education, and I've been doing that for like 12 years now. Currently working as an admin in training, so I'm kind of like shadowing an admin or shadowing my principal with the expectation of taking over the school in the next year or two, with the goal of being a superintendent in the next 5 years. So doing that really well. Also coach basketball, and mentor African American boys in Oakland. So
all right.
Oh,
I love it. I love it. The high goals and high admiration. All right.
Probably would not have expected me to do any of this coming out of high school.
No.
Well,
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that in a minute.
How much time we got?
All right. BS3. We already introduced you earlier, but let's hear it from yourself.
Husband, father, brother, person of faith. I do have one daughter. She's 10. BS3 Network. That's my passion. That's my baby. From 5 until whenever. I work in HR and customer service, but BS3 is that's trying to make it a household name. So every day, pushing towards that goal.
Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Great. We're excited about all of you and what all of you are doing. Okay, now let's get down to the brass tacks here. How many years have you guys been friends? Who wants to try that one?
Wow.
Yeah, I want to hear everybody's take on that one.
So I'm gonna say at least 30 years. At least 30 years. I mean, I've been doing Trina and Derek since we were about 6 or 7. And then Ben came around in 5th grade. No, 5th grade. 5th grade, right? 5th grade. Yeah. So then me and Ben became friends in 5th grade, and that was in 92 or something, 95, somewhere around there. 92.
I mean, I'm gonna say 30. I'm gonna say 30 years. I just tried to calculate it.
Yeah, at least 30 years. At least 30 years.
Because I'm only 35 in my mind.
Whoa.
35 in your head, in your mind.
I don't know why you get on here and lie.
Mind your business.
What did Derek say?
I don't know why she got on here and lied, talking about she only 35.
Hey, you guys are older.
You ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie.
You are
VCR, Craig.
You are 11 months from 40.
That's lies. That's lies. Get off here and
Countdown.
35 and holding.
Holding.
Yeah, holding.
All right. So it's fair to say y'all met in elementary school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, look at that.
All right.
Well, I know we're thinking about this movie, but y'all go way back farther than this little movie we're talking about.
Oh yes, the Sandbox.
Sandbox.
There was no Sandbox at our school, but the Sandbox.
Playing mountain ball.
And mountain ball with Melicon.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Melicon. Oh my gosh,
Melicon,
y'all going way back.
Way back.
Yes.
Yeah, he made a mark in all of you lives. I know Camellia and DJ, they still talk about Mr. Malachi.
Yeah.
All right. So what makes your friendship so unique and so long lasting?
I think it's because we have the ability to make each other laugh.
Okay.
And we're just loyal to each other. I mean,
okay.
Despite the distance, huh?
Despite the that's what I was gonna say.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's for friend. That's true friendship.
Yeah.
I think also we have so many memories. I mean, there's story after story we can tell. been at each other's houses numerous times.
Yeah.
Vulnerable moments that we've had, embarrassing moments that we've had, like
crazy moments.
Crazy moments, yeah.
Crazy people.
Right.
Crazy.
Pretty much had it all. Yeah.
Let's go. Come on. Tell us. Come on. Let's go. What crazy things have you guys done?
Oh Lord, spare me, Lord.
I mean, I have crazy stories with every single person in here. Like from Derek's car stopping on us and we having to push the car. I
have no idea. I have no idea what he's talking about.
We pushed that car to his grandmother's house, man. From was it 45th in San Pablo? Was it 45th? 40th? Yeah,
something about there.
And I was the one that was pushing. He wasn't pushing. I was pushing because he was like,
That
"I gotta steer. You gotta push."
Supervisor.
Integra.
It was the Prelude.
Okay.
Yeah, the Prelude.
Prelude.
Oh, okay. At least San Pablo is level, so you have to go up here.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Derek was the first one with a license, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Out of us.
He drove crazy too. How he get that?
So and y'all got in there with him.
We did.
Yeah,
well, it was better than walking. I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Somebody laying across, carrying these.
Snug.
All right, come on, Trey. What's the most craziest, the craziest thing you can think of you guys done as friends?
Probably the craziest thing. It was me, Tyon, and Chris.
I knew it.
That's the craziest story. We shouldn't even be here right now, honestly. But we walked from West Oakland all the way to Tyon's house. It had to have been like 10, 11 o'clock.
Yes.
I don't know.
We all got in trouble that night. We all got in trouble that night.
Some of us more than others, but yeah.
From West Oakland to Emeryville, all you gotta do is go down Adeline. What?
I don't know. I don't know.
We was coming from that Warriors game,
from the Warriors game. Yeah.
And somebody said, "No, we can get on this train." And we got on the train, and we was like, we got to West Oakland BART station. It was like, next stop, San Francisco. We was like, we on the wrong BART. So we got off the BART.
Yeah.
And instead of just getting on a different BART, somebody said, let's just walk from here. We was like, all right, cool. And about an hour and a half later, we was finally home.
Okay, from West Oakland. Okay, we got it.
We used the payphone.
Yeah. That's like 7th Street.
Yeah, 7th Street to 59th of Vallejo.
Down to 40th or whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all recovered that night. The Lord definitely protected y'all.
I'm telling you.
Okay, come on, Trina. Give us one of your craziest moments.
I think I have a couple, but
okay, go ahead.
Senior Cut Day was one of them.
What is it?
Senior Cut Day.
Oh.
When we all got in trouble because of my mom coming to look for me on whose mama comes to look for you on Senior Dish Day. And then calls out everybody. Oh, well, if she ain't here, is Tyon here? Is Ben here? Is there? I was like, oh my God.
She just counted it out like her.
Everybody. My mom had everybody in trouble.
Hey, Tyon, was that the same day that my car cut
That is the same day your car cut off.
Really?
That's the same day.
That's why he wasn't there.
Wow.
Y'all was trying to make it.
We was trying to get home. It's not right in front of KFC.
The keys got snatched, huh?
No, I remember because we all came back into the school. We saw Miss Valerie, and then me and Tyon backed out so we wouldn't get caught. So I got back in my car and tried to drive off, and that's when my car cut out.
See, look at God. Yep. Look at God.
Look how he works in mysterious ways.
We all got messed up
quickly.
Look at that. Okay, well, that's not so bad. I was hoping.
Oh no, we can't tell all the stories. We only tell the PG
Yeah, we can only tell the PG version.
This is Friday Night Live.
It's Friday Night Live, y'all.
Me and Trina have a lot of stories.
This is rated R. This is rated R.
I know Trina remembers when I jumped out the car in Berkeley.
You used to jump out. Tyann used to jump out the car all the time. And
a moving car?
He'd stop and like the car's still like rolling. And
I'm like, Trina, take over.
And do that weird non-crip walk dance that he used to do. Y'all remember that?
The Emeryville Shuffle.
Louisville, yeah.
Why did you have to do that, Tyann?
See, that's why we can't talk about
it.
That's why I was that's when I was in the streets. I was in the streets.
Okay, well, let's
keep it.
Yeah, we're moving on, bro. Teacher.
Okay, we'll keep that on the down low. Keep that on the down
I'm
low.
matured.
That's okay. Well, we all got a pass now. Come on.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. Y'all, we're not going to even focus on us at all. Keep it moving.
Yeah, we've all been delivered from something.
That's it.
Yes, sir. We weren't born saved. Is that right, Pastor Derek?
Amen.
Okay, so who was the most spiritual when you first met?
Probably Ben for me.
Probably me.
Yeah,
probably
was Ben.
Very structured and
Thank you.
Nothing wrong with it, right?
I definitely remember like before me and Ben would do anything on the weekends, like he had to go to church, he had to go do a service and stuff. And then we would play basketball afterwards. So whenever I would come over, I would have to like go to church with you and things like that. I remember
yeah.
So
y'all been the glad partners.
Always knew. Yeah, already knew. Whenever I came over, it was like I might end up at church. You better bring something to wear.
Better bring something to wear.
Yeah, and get that chicken afterwards, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So who was the one that was really out there when you first?
Tyann.
From then to now. A little bit more reserved.
Always.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not a throwing under the bus. He knew it.
Nah.
No. Oh yeah, I know.
He know, yeah.
He know.
Wow. Bless you.
I was surprised.
Hey, I had to bring the excitement to the crew. I had to. That was my job. To bring all the excitement.
Mission
all the wildness.
And he did that.
He understood the assignment.
Okay. He accomplished his mission. So I was gonna say Ramon, but I know he wasn't that close with y'all. Or Gilbert. You know, I thought about him the other day.
Yeah.
Ramon was the how do you say elder statesman. He was the one that could get stuff that we couldn't get, and he was
okay.
Oh, here's real quick. I don't know if we got time for this story. Go ahead. The Taco Bell story, where Ramon was the shift leader, and we was in the same grade. I was like, "How are you the shift leader?" And we just left school together. Everybody, hey, that was probably one of the best times of my life.
Y'all work there?
Hey, the funnest job ever.
We was giving out free food.
How did y'all not get fired?
I don't know.
We
own Taco Bell.
Y'all were shut down Taco Bell at like
tacos. Like we own that place.
Hey,
it needed to be shut down anyway with that fake meat. I don't even know how we ate that crap.
That's a whole nother topic.
I don't eat the beans. I don't eat the beans or the meat to this day.
Hey, 7:30.
Chicken is all good.
It was closed. We chose. Rush hour done. It's time to close.
We out of meat.
We out of meat. We out of taco shells. We out of soda. We out of paper. We out of cheese.
Yeah, I gave it all away.
I don't even know who the manager was. I don't remember any. I just remember Ramon was the shift leader. I was like, how is this guy the shift leader? But anyway, that was great times.
I don't know why he came to mind. I don't know, but I can tell y'all this on a side note. When we were here in Atlanta and we went Oh no, we hadn't left yet. Anyway, we went to a Warriors game, and Ramon took care of your mama and your daddy. You hear me? Took us down front. I was like dodging balls. I was like, whoa. Like, come on. I was like, another hookup, huh?
Yeah.
I get free taco, but look, he got us some good seats.
You always have somebody.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm about to say, you ever go to a Warriors game, Ramon will take care of you for sure. He took care of me last night. I sat front row last night at the game. At the game. So every time I go.
Wow. I appreciated that. So let's get into the trivia, y'all. I don't know if y'all familiar with the movies. I'm gonna give y'all the rundown. The Best Man, 1999. The Best Man Holiday, 2013. I just read the other day there was a Best Man Wedding that didn't make it. Supposed to come out in 2016. You got no questions about that. It just didn't make it. Come on, Malcolm. Anyway, but the Best Man Final Chapter, 2022. Did y'all see it? All of those?
I did.
I haven't watched them yet.
I have not watched them yet. But I heard they're really good.
Yes.
Oh, you haven't watched any of them?
No, I've watched the other two. I haven't watched the final chapter yet.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed. So I'm gonna go to Antrina. If you want to tell us about your favorite scene in any of those, whichever one you want to bring up.
My favorite scene is from the second movie. When the guys did the new edition, Can You Stand the Rain?
Yes.
And did the whole dance and all that. That was my favorite scene.
Oh, I love that too. It was the hat. It was.
It was.
I love that. Okay, Derek.
I would say my favorite scene would be from the first movie. It's actually the fight scene where Morris Chestnut goes off on Tay Diggs' character, and is holding him over the balcony. That was just one of my favorite scenes. Maybe that's my undercover crazy part.
Yeah, almost throwing somebody off a balcony. That's your favorite scene. Yeah, that's undercover crazy.
Father, in the name of Jesus,
stretch my hand.
But he probably deserved it. What he did.
He didn't. Not that extreme.
Oh, he deserved it.
Undercover crazy. Number 2.
Did Harper really deserve to get beat up like that? Oh no.
Yeah, he lied. He lied.
He didn't say anything. Yeah.
Okay. I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right.
But you put it out there on Front Street in the book. I mean,
yeah.
Even though he changed the character's name, but we still knew.
Right, you knew.
Yeah.
You knew. All right. Trey.
Okay, Trey.
You said this is rated R and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and say the Nia Long scene. I'm sorry. She to this day, she still look good. But yeah, the Nia Long scene when she was hooking up with when she came to the door with Tay Diggs' character.
Tay Diggs, yeah. Harper.
That was mine, but it was right before when he starts she's doctoring him up because he got beat up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She felt a little sympathy for him. I felt a little sympathy for him. And then I didn't because I was like, you got Nia Long got to get beat up, man. Come on, man. That's a win. That's a win. I get beat up with Nia Long. Come on.
Yeah.
See, that's a male perspective.
Wow. It really is.
Here we go. Did you want to tell your favorite?
Well, my favorite is in Best Man Holiday, and this touches my heart still to the day. When I hear that Marvin Gaye Christmas song, and he lands, runs into the bedroom, and his wife is on her sick bed, and she's getting ready to pass away. And every time I heard that song this Christmas holiday, it just touched my heart. So that was that scene. And then I guess the other scene was when they were in the car, and the wives had already gotten into a big fight, and then Terrence Howard and Mert was getting into a fight in the car, and they're talking about, you gonna do that monkey paw on me, the monkey claw on me? You can't do that monkey claw. He said, Every time he said, "Would you marry a stripper?"
Oh, wow. I just love you. Got to do the claw when you say that. Yeah, that was something. I don't know. This finale just very well done, but I was so surprised in the episodes where Terrence got so emotional. Like I'm like, wow, like he can not be so hard or emotionless, but I enjoyed it. I love him as an actor. As a matter of fact, we're gonna get into that right now because we were struggling. We kind of had our take on who we thought you guys would be in the movie, and Terrence Howard was one we just couldn't figure out. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. So, who do you guys? Well, of course, Aunt Trina, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And my husband made the note. You guys, he said, "You think she had her legs done or something? She ain't as bold-legged as she was before." I'm like, really?
Really?
Yeah. Once you see Best Man,
I saw, but I don't remember. I guess because I wasn't paying attention to how bow-legged she was.
From a male perspective,
did you see? It's in the last. It's in the last series, number 8. You saw all 8 series?
Yes.
Okay, when they was walking along the beach with the Ty Diggs, you gotta look. Her legs is not as bold as they used to be.
And of course, she had on the dress. I looked at her in the pantsuit. I fell asleep, so I didn't see that part. But he got a pass. Go ahead and look. But anyway, so who do you guys think Tay Diggs would be amongst you guys? Or who would be Tay Diggs?
I would say Derek.
Because he's the writer.
The writer, the glasses. I would say Derek.
And the innocent, like, I don't know.
No, but I wouldn't be so dumb as to write a story the way that he did and lie. I would tell the truth about.
That's the undercover
you would. You definitely would.
Yeah.
We know you would.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that when I was reading that. I was like, who would I think there's like parts of those characters that we would, but like not fully. Like I said, like Derek is the writer.
Right.
Yeah.
True. That is hands down.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So Morris Chestnut, who would best fit his role?
Out of the 4 of us, I would probably say nobody. No, we will sub somebody in. I don't know who was
in your circle. I mean, you guys were the main 4, right?
Who was the athletic? I mean, the only person I can think of was Hub, but he wasn't really in our group. But
who was?
He was
who was it?
Robert Hubbard. He was a year.
He's a year behind us.
But he was probably the most athletic during that time. During our time at Emory.
Okay.
So what about Murch or Harold Perrineau?
Nobody, because the way that she treated it. I mean, no.
But I'm not gonna be in that type of situation.
Right.
But I think there are some similarities. He was real chill.
Right.
He wasn't the one that was gonna end up fighting somebody.
Peacemaker. Yeah. The peacemaker.
He was. But I don't know. In the finale, he was like, no.
Yeah, he definitely changed his character up.
Don't give it away.
He needed to.
Yeah.
So who would be Terrence Howard, even if it's not within you guys, the 4 of y'all, or maybe it is.
I think probably Tyann. Like I was trying to think it through, and I was thinking like the crazy and like the one standing back laughing at the drama. Like that's Tyann.
Yeah.
And the one starting the drama and then walking away and laughing at everybody else in the middle. That's Tyann.
I can see that.
And Leah. That's all I got to say. That's why I thought it. That's why I said you were saying Terrence Howard all along. When I was thinking of those Leah days,
all along.
the Leah period.
Leah.
The girlfriend that was around for like 10 years that just shouldn't have been around for 10 years. she should not have been around for 10 years.
So she's a Shelby.
Yeah.
He had to pause for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she definitely shouldn't have been around that long. It should have been like over in high school. Yeah.
Well, there was something there, obviously.
A whole bunch of drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
She would have showed up at a wedding, like just like
unannounced.
But in the series that's out right now, she would have been that person.
But what happened when she took that role and then she just fell over? It was like, well, dang, was she drunk? Was that intended? Or you remember she just rolled in? Where did she walk in? She failed. Like, I'm like, was that supposed Shelby when she came and busted through the wedding?
I think she was just trying to be as dramatic as possible.
Because Trina, didn't she go out with you that one time and got drunk and passed out, and you had to bring her home? Yeah. Yeah.
I try not to. Hey.
Yeah.
Just thank God that y'all decided to work.
Drive.
Yeah.
Trina was like, she's passed out. What you
I was like,
do?
where are you? Come here today, right now.
Just drop her off at the door.
At the door.
House party.
Stairs.
Yeah, like the house party.
Yeah. Up against the door and the screen.
Get her up these stairs. These are stairs. What am I doing with her? She had a car.
Hey.
What am I doing with her? You said
you ain't gotta go home. You can't stay in this car. Let's go. Get up.
That was a mess.
Wow. Look, I would have never thought.
So let me just ask this, because Trina is the only female. So do you really have traits like Nia Long?
No. Well, yes, some. Okay, well, let's start here.
Okay.
Unlike her, we've never had relationships with anybody in the group.
Yeah.
Which is how we've avoided drama all these years.
Okay.
But I think I'm very similar to her personality-wise. Like, career driven, the independent, the very I can do my own thing, and having to find a balance between your independence and allowing a male person in your life to be a man in your life, and having to identify that and intentionally allow that to happen because you're so used to doing things on your own. So I definitely relate to her in a lot of ways. And I think it's interesting because in our group, I feel like that helped me kind of keep that perspective in terms of allowing men to be men, because I had 3 brothers here, you know what I'm saying, who always played a male role in my life and treated me like a woman, a lady, like a little sister, and so when I had men in my life before I got married, and including when I met my husband, it was, for me, it was like, oh, well, I expect you to open the door. I expect you to, because my brothers already do this. This is, this is what they do. They've been doing this for me since we were kids. When I was in college and, they're picking me up from the dorms, opening doors, go to restaurants, opening doors there, so there was a certain level of expectation that I already had in people that I dated because of the men that I were around who set a great example of what it was like to treat a lady. So I'm sure, to some degree, you can tell that in the movies as well, because she really confided and trusted in them as family, the ones that she was with.
The one she wasn't messing with,
the one she wasn't messing with. But, they really confided in her, too. You could see that trust and that protection that they had for her. And I feel like that's very similar.
Okay.
So we talked about how long you guys have been friends and when you met. I'm just wondering how where the gelling actually came in, because 2 of you are already or 3 of you are already friends, and then Trey comes in, and then all of those that were kind of peeping in, but y'all were just like, no.
They were just part-time. They were only part-time. They didn't last full term.
Nodule. Y'all were not letting them in.
Well, I think it's interesting because I think that we all even though we had friendships, we all those friendships became stronger and stronger as we got older, and like certain things like happened to like strengthen our friendships. Like me, like for example, like me and Trey, like we've been friends since Trey got to the school, right? And like me and him was hanging out from like day one, like in different programs together in Mesa, playing basketball together, like all these different things. So we was always together, right? And the same thing with Derek. Like me and Derek was like kind of hanging out as kids, like playing baseball and doing different stuff. Like me and Trina, we knew each other and we talked to each other all the time. But I think
I was a grade behind. Remember? I was a grade behind until the eighth grade.
It wasn't really until Emory. I think it wasn't really until
high school.
High school, till that kind of came.
That's what I was thinking too.
But I know, like for me and Trina, when Trina became the president of the school and she was going to the school board meetings all the time, I used to have to be there with my mom. And so me and her started talking all the time from that. And we was like spending a lot of time at each other's house and stuff
and
like
my mom
that.
and his mom were really cool because my mom was really active at both schools, the elementary school where my brother was and at the high school. And so she got to know Miss Van so well. And so Cheyenne was like one of the few people, males, one of the only, that I could go to his house and my mom be like, all right, I'll see you later. And I'm like, like that
and vice versa too.
You know, and so and so it was, and so I think, like you said, it was like around those times that I was over there daily, almost every day.
Right.
And then Ben and Derek would be there. Like it was just
Cheyenne house was the meetup, man.
It was the meetup. Everybody's parents trusted Miss Vance because she was.
I was gonna say that speaks volumes because
she would choke you out if she had to.
Y'all couldn't do that anywhere else, right? Y'all could. I remember calling her and say, "Yeah, Ty, I'm spending the night, child. I'll send them home in the morning." You know, it was that comfortability for me that we knew you guys were going to be taken care of, and so I just wish that was so much more prevalent nowadays. You can't trust folk. You can't do it.
You don't know what people's motives are.
That's it. You don't know what goes on. I would always say, y'all can have friends over, but if I don't know the mom and the daddy and what's going on, no, it's not happening. So
now with us,
literally invite the kids over so that I can get to know and see and the mannerisms and like, okay, yeah, he cool. Well, no, wait a minute.
Now with all of us having kids, now it's different because you just can't let your kid go over somebody's house. Yeah, we doing a sleepover. I was like, well, Ari not gonna be there.
Right.
You're not gonna be there.
Well, that's the thing that really impressed us about the movie and relating you guys' friendship.
Right.
I mean, because once you look at The Best Man last chapter, you really see the bond.
Right.
And you really see how much they truly love each other.
Yeah.
And one of the scenes from Best Man Holiday is when Terrence Howard was with Mia, and Mia was sick, and he's a pothead, and they smoking pot together, and they just chilling with one another, and just their relationship and how much they just truly love each other. And the same thing happened with Lance and Nia in the last one. You really see how close they were. They were, truly like brothers and sisters.
After he cursed her out, that was cold.
Well, sometimes that's what it takes, though. Cheyenne done got it from me.
But I have to take care of your kids, and you gonna tell me no.
When you was out a whoring around, now you want to be mad at me.
But
she put it on him too, though. But she had got all in one day, dude. Investing in the prisons, and then she go over to him, and she get. I'm like, poor thing.
I mean, that's life.
I hear you. And Trey, you're a bulldog over there. Look.
But you know what? Like
it happened like that, right? Like back to back. That's how it always happens. That's how it always happens.
And I want to say like one thing that I could appreciate from like just like us as a group. We've always been able to have those hard conversations with each other, right? Like we've always been able to like talk to each other about like different things, like stuff like even when we were wrong, like, nah, you was wrong in this, you should do better, X, Y, and Z. Like we've always been able to have those conversations, right? And I respect like the fact that like my brothers, you know, because like Derek and Trey are like my brothers, and Trina's my little sister. You know what I'm saying? I respect that like they're always able to like come and like check me, like because there was some times I really need to be checked. So I really appreciated them like being like, nah, Ty, like that ain't cool. You need to do different, or you need to do better. And you always need that person to kind of keep you in place sometimes. So.
Accountability. There you go. So Trey, tell us about what you appreciate about your friendship.
I mean, I appreciate just the longevity of it, and I think now as we get older, you know, people are going to pass away, and I think we can always go to our text and be like, hey, this is what's going on. We know we're going to pray for each other. We know we're going to be there for each other, even though we're not necessarily in the same group and area. And so coming, you know, rewinding back, coming to Annie X, I didn't know anybody. I don't even know how me and Tyon started talking. I guess it just happened, and kind of the rest is history. So I think you guys really welcomed me in when I didn't know really anything about this area. So I think there's some trust, there's definitely some loyalty. And I think just we support each other, you know, and whatever we got going on.
Right.
Yeah. So, and Trina, we're talking about the appreciation of your friendship. So, what do you appreciate about these guys?
It's the same I was listening to. It's you know, just being the ability to be so supportive and there for one another despite the distance. You know, we've lived in different places, different states now since, I mean, Ben, when did you leave?
Right up 22,
right
23?
After college, right.
Yeah,
so
it was 2000.
My feelings was hurt. I remember that.
Like 2005.
Huh?
It really hurt you?
Yeah, so I remember when he came back.
You were shocked.
No, it hurt. It hurt because he waited to the last minute to tell us.
Well, not even that. But for me,
it wasn't like it was a long, drawn out decision. It was kind of a quick decision, but
look, me and Ben had this whole conversation about like moving in together and like all this stuff. So we was like planning all this stuff, and then he was all like, "Yeah, so me and Erica gonna move." I was like, "Wait, what? Hold on, I thought we just said we was gonna look for a place." He was like, "Nah, me and Erica gonna move together, and we're going to Texas." I'm like, "Wow, bro! Like you gonna leave your brother hanging, huh? Like that's what you doing? That's what we doing." I mean, but 15 years later, she's still here. So it was definitely the right move, you know. But at that time, I was like, come on, bud, for real? Like you just gonna run off, huh? All right, that's what we doing.
It was,
you don't even know nobody in Texas.
Yeah, you don't know nobody out there. Her family there.
And look, for us as parents, we had just bought this big house in Vallejo. You guys came out there, right? I mean, he had the downstairs suite, right? And we were like, "Okay, Trey, this is you." And he was like, "Yeah." Took his clothes out of the garbage bag. I'm moving.
Out of garbage bag.
It was for real. I had like 5 garbage bags.
And his brand new. What was the new car that we bought him?
It was a Cobalt.
Yeah, I'm driving this car. We leave.
It was a Chevy. Yeah. So we feel your pain, Tyon. We feel your pain.
Yeah. I was
and I'll say this: Karen and Adam. I think they were the first, really.
They were.
I know you
get married.
Coming up. Yeah, they were the first to get married. So I think I talked to one or both of them, and I was like, I kind of just bounced it off of them, like, you know, what you guys think and stuff like that. So that was kind of in that decision making.
Okay.
Wow, and they're still together.
Yeah, they've been married. They just celebrated their 20-year anniversary.
Wow.
I was their witness. I was the witness for them at their wedding.
Really? Oh, I forgot about them.
2 boys too.
Yep.
2 boys, and they're still in Cali.
They're in Castro Valley.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
You guys just brought, oh my gosh. So speaking of getting married, so who amongst you guys got married first?
Ben was the first. Ben was the first one.
Okay, I thought.
I still remember this conversation. I think it was with Derek or Tyon, and they were like, "Well, you know, if anything go wrong, you can just come back." You're right.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That was you. Yeah. It was like, "You sure? You sure you want to do this?" I was like, I'm sure. But yeah, it was like, anything go wrong, you can come back. So I always had it in my head, probably for at least the first 5 years. It was like,
man.
I'm sure Erica didn't know that.
Nah, I don't think she knows. She'll know when it's
guys. I'm gonna ask the guys this question. So, Derek, if you could choose between Trey or Tyon, who would have been your best man?
Wow, why we gotta go there?
now we getting into the final chapter.
Yeah.
On the spot.
It's just no one's gonna get offended because it's over with. You gotta do your vows, right?
Well, it probably would have been Tyon.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. He
Ben
would.
left you.
Yeah, Ben left me.
Tyon was there, so I mean, I agree with that. Ain't no hard feeling.
Okay, Tyon, who would have been your best man?
Probably Ben. Probably been Ben.
You say that.
It probably would have been Ben. You know, me and Ben was like this. We was like this.
I know.
Everywhere. People still to this day, like Bo Depot was like, man, I'm surprised. I'm happy y'all still, in contact with each other. Even when we were doing the podcast thing, it was like,
oh yeah.
Cool.
I know. You see one, you see the other. So Trey, would that be the same for you?
It would be Tyon, yeah.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that. I mean, I just answered it for you, but anyway, already knew. No offense, though. No offense. Everybody cool?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so since Antrina is how old is your baby now? A year.
He just turned 1.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pastor Derek, come on, give some parenting advice, not just for you guys, but for our viewers as well.
Parenting advice?
Yeah.
Talk to a good parent first.
Oh, no. You
fair to rise, spoil the child. What is it?
I knew Tyon.
Way to intro that. Can't wait to hear what you got to say.
You gave us some good parenting advice when you were on our show.
I did.
Oh,
he was there. Yeah.
Okay.
His book was on relationships. I don't think it was on parents.
You're not saying you're gonna pass.
I guess what am I at? Cough. I guess the thing people always say is raise your child up in the way that they should go. I think what we miss in that a lot of the times is that we want to raise our children up in the way we think they should go. And we don't take the time to actually learn our kids' personality, learn what God has already placed in them and nurture what God has placed in them. And so that's my biggest advice to parents is don't try to direct your child in the way you want them to go. Direct them in the way that God has them set up to go, and just nurture that. So,
okay,
that's probably the best advice I got.
Good advice. Good advice. So, who has the oldest child?
Tyon.
I have the oldest child, which is interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So we know who has the baby. You have the oldest. Okay.
Yeah.
Who have the most children?
Tyon.
Not a surprise to any of us.
Okay.
Not a surprise to any of us.
I love kids. I love kids. So.
Well, come on with the advice, sir. Before you do, let me bring the scripture up. So that was Proverbs 22:6 for our viewers. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So thank you, Derek. Relating it right back to the word. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I think for me, the best thing I've personally did with my kids is just try to give sound advice and be a parent, not be their friend. And so I think that's always important in showing my kids like how to do things the right way. how to talk to people, how to be respectful, and also like when I'm disciplining my children, and making sure that I don't discipline them while I'm angry or mad. So they understand that like what I'm trying to do is teach them a better way to do things and not be as punitive. So I try to do that. I think that has worked well with my kids so far. All my kids are pretty well mannered. You know, doing really well. Like Raina is looking at going to Stanford. That's where she wants to go, and she has a GPA and everything to get there. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh man, that's exciting.
And Torian and Terrence, they're both excelling in school. They're both really good kids, well-mannered kids, respectful kids. And a lot, I will say, at their age, they are further along than I was at their age. So I feel like I have did a really good job in just trying to ensure that, you know, that they can make good decisions and be productive people in society.
Okay.
Well, isn't that what we want for our kids? They're standing on your shoulders, so they should excel beyond what you projected in your life. Okay,
definitely. And,
go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, and also just trying to surround them around people who are really positive. So, you know, of course, like Derek, you know, I wish Trina and Ben were closer so they could spend more time. But Torian did get to spend a lot of time with Trina when he was little. So that was really good. So, yeah. But trying to keep positive people around them at all times.
There you go. Y'all got to plan a reunion.
Definitely.
Yeah, really.
Definitely. So the kids can get together.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Trey, go ahead.
I would say just being patient. I mean, they're which is hard to do. I'm not gonna lie.
Ari's our granddaughter. Well, yes, we know.
Yeah, it's not I haven't figured out the code to being patient. But every day, I mean, they literally don't know anything.
Yeah.
So it's like it is like step by step every single day.
Yeah.
Going through the process, teaching them what you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm 40, so all the stuff I've experienced, I know. So for me, it's easy to just say, you know, go do that. But sometimes understanding the why. So I think the patience is big, but also they're a person. Like it sounds weird saying that, but Ari's 10, so she has her own personality. She has her own thoughts, her own opinions. So I mean, I can't force her to think how I think. So I think those two kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Like you say,
Definitely.
It's the guidance because that's what they need. They may think they know. They're young. So we know the head's strong. We understand.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was me.
Trina, even at a young mom's age, you can still bless somebody.
You know, it's the same. Piggyback off of Ben with the patience, just being patient. That you are tried at a level you never thought you'd be tried with kids. And you finding, you grabbing for patience from places that you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
But it's so important because, like you said, you're teaching them everything. But also, just thinking about like what the looking back, I think about what my parents did that I appreciate now as an adult and wanting to give that to my son. And one of the things that I think about with my mom is just that constant dependability, like knowing at no point in my time in my life did I ever have to wonder if my mother would be there for me, or if if something happened, bad, good, whether I disappointed her or was in a situation, I knew at no point did I have to second guess whether I could call her and talk to her, or know that she would be there for me at the drop of a hat with no questions asked. And at that moment she was going to ask questions but at that moment, and so just making sure that my son knows that I'm always going to be there for him, even if he's making decisions that I don't agree with or that I'm not necessarily happy about, or and like Derek said, maybe not doing what I would want for him to do, but maybe what he wants for him to do. As long as it's safe, as long as it's productive, as long as it's, his God-given purpose, still being able to support him and still loving him and showing that love. And I think that was something that from the movie they hit on a lot in the series about showing that love. Like even when you disagree or even when you don't understand your kid in that moment, letting them still know that you love them and that allowing your relationship to grow, because you're going to constantly be going through these transitions all the time. They're growing, you're growing, and all of those things. And as they learn, they're developing and they're trying stuff and they're, making decisions that you don't control any longer. And so being able to just make sure that they know that you love them. At the end of the day, I always love you. Even though you may make mistakes, you will make mistakes. We all made mistakes, as we all talked about. We all grew and we all matured, and knowing that they're gonna do that. And I think that's really hard.
Yeah.
Now I look back, I'm like, dang, my mom went through this with me, like having to allow me to make mistakes. Like that's not easy to watch.
That is hard.
Yeah,
that's hard.
You're like, I know you're gonna burn yourself. But I gotta let you do. I have to let you do it, and that's
you gotta let them fail.
I'll let you bump your head. That.
But you guys really, really rally around her when it's time, when it's that 3-year-old stage and that 4-year-old stage. You already know.
Oh yeah.
So don't be waiting for Aunt Trina to call y'all. Y'all check in on the sister.
Man,
y'all know. They always say the terrible 2s, but 3 and 4, baby, ain't no joke.
Yeah.
I ain't forgot. Y'all check in on her.
Let me ask Tyann this, because we bless you. We kind of noticed this with Camelia. She's an educator. Are you harder as you look back? Your kid's a little older now, but when it came to their education and their grades and how they're achieving in school, do you think you were hard on them because you're an educator?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think I am hard on them because I'm an educator. I think I'm also hard on them because I thought about like when I was a kid and like how I could have really accomplished a lot if I really put my energy and focus into my work. Like, I think about like this friend group that I have right here. Like, I mean, they all graduated from college earlier than me, a lot earlier than me, first and foremost. But also, like, when I think about like that group, like I remember like they all was getting like 3.5s and 3.8s and 4.0s, and I was like kind of like messing around a little bit in school. Like I was the one that was kind of like off the edge type thing, right? And so
Kind of.
Okay.
You made teachers cry, Tyann. You went kind of off the edge. And so, my mama, what? Your mama bored. What are you doing?
And your mama was right next door.
I was going to say that. I know she wanted to strangle you. She was on the board.
Oh my God. Problematic.
Yes,
if problematic was a person, Tyann.
So thinking about that, like I think like for my kids, I'm always like, like take advantage of like these opportunities that you have right now, like and create more opportunities for yourself, create the ability to have options. Like because when I graduated from school, I didn't have options because I never created those options for myself. Right. So my path was a lot harder, a lot more difficult than it had to be. And so like I don't want your path to be that difficult. So in order for you to not have a difficult path, do the work right now so that you can enjoy it later. And so like I think like my oldest has really took to that. Raina, like I said, she's a pretty stellar student. Torian is now learning that. So he's a lot like I was in school, extremely smart, like extremely smart. And like, it just kind of give you like an idea of that. Like he's in 7th grade right now. He reads at 11th grade level. His math, he's doing like high algebra right now in 7th grade. And so it's very, very similar to like me and you, Ben. Like we were like in Trina, we were like in Mesa and stuff like that. Like he's doing some of those same things. But the difference between me and him is he actually does his schoolwork. so like I'm so proud of that. It was like, and having those conversations with him in regards to like education and being like, yo, like everything else that me and you talk about is really negotiable. Education is not. Like you got to go to school, you got to get an education, you got to learn, you got to put yourself in a situation to be successful. Everything else though, we can work on everything else. So.
Okay. Well, we see it now because Camellia twins are 4 and they're reading.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. So you said okay.
That's great.
And I think the most interesting thing about being parents is we've all probably experienced this, saying the same things our parents said to us.
Yes.
You're getting on my last nerves. There's a bunch of them. I gotta tell you this one more time. But this hurts me more than it hurts you. I get that now. I 100% get that.
But one thing I want to say that like I think is extremely important is like I've enjoyed parenting, right? Like I enjoy being a parent. I enjoy being a father. Like that is like for me, like that is the biggest accomplishment in my life. Is being a father more than having degrees, more than the master's degrees and like all the other stuff. Like being a father has been like my biggest accomplishment. Right. And I like enjoy that. That is the thing that like I hang my hat on. That is the most important thing to me. So.
That's your legacy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Those 2 Rugrats that be at your house.
And that keeps you focused. It just keeps you focused. It reminds you, of where you were and how you want your children to be on a greater level, So that's wonderful.
Oh, wow. This has been an awesome show. I tell you, you guys knocked it out of the park. I'm telling you, we're just so proud of you. I tell you, we all just like bursting with joy and excitement because not only Trey, but all of you was like children to us, and we're just so proud of you. And you guys done such an awesome job. Job.
And to see you, from elementary school to this point in time, in different areas of profession. Nurse practitioner, did you say that?
Right.
Yeah.
You can return eventually.
I got options.
So someone's Siri.
I won't respond to that.
Siri.
Siri trying to talk to somebody.
Siri trying to come in.
But I don't know whose phone that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're gonna close out. Any last remarks?
Any last remarks?
I mean, it's great seeing you guys in this type of platform. I had a vision to get us all on the show. Didn't necessarily happen, but I'm thankful to my parents that they were able to do it. It's always great to see you guys, but also just hear the stories, hear what Trina was saying. Having us in her life, you don't really think about the impact we have on each other until you talk about it and further along in life. So I appreciate you guys.
We thank you guys for your patience because I know I reached out last year. So anyway, getting us over that milestone hump. So we thank you. This was very special for us. You know that you guys are near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, you are.
Any other comments before we conclude?
It's always a fun time, being with everybody. And we don't get to do this as often as we should, or even as often as we want to. You know what I'm saying? So anytime that we do get to do this, it's always enjoyable. So hopefully we get to do this more in person as the future goes on. You know what I'm saying? I know we got the toddler, so it's kind of hard to travel with a toddler a little bit. So maybe we got to come to San Diego, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at some point, we probably should see each other more often. I got the truck. Me and Derek can jump in the truck and we can drive across the country. We can meet.
We can meet. We can meet.
I mean, you been, so it's no problem.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Derek, you want to say anything?
I love my friends. We've been we've been rocking with each other for 30 years and rock for another 30 plus. I just love being around y'all. Y'all make me laugh tremendously. So, and it makes me feel better, even though I was down. Y'all about made me cough up a lung.
Yeah.
Oh, we get some of that mucus out.
That's wonderful. All right, madam.
Well, I'm glad. I'm just thankful that you guys did this and got us together and allowed us this opportunity to come on your platform. You know, you think about the fact that there's so many people that don't have a community like this that they're able to depend on and that they're able to rely on, even in their same local physicality. So for us to have a relationship like this for 30 plus years, living in different places across the country, like that's such a blessing. And so I think about that all the time, you know, especially being in a place in San Diego where I don't have a big community of people or family and friends. So just knowing that, unlike some people who are just like, I don't have family and friends, and they just don't have anybody. I have people, they just aren't local, but I still know that I can call and like, you know, get encouragement or get support or hop on a plane real quick. And, you know, and it's just, it's a blessing. And so I really do, as I've gotten older, really do value the relationships with people that I have. And like Tyann said, we really talk about doing this more, and we should do this more. We need to make it, you know, schedule it to make sure that we do get together more, whether it's a Zoom or a phone call. I mean, we're on the text chain and we definitely try to stay in touch and stay connected that way. Yeah. But we really have to make sure that we put in that effort to really connect better.
That's wonderful. But I want to share before my husband concludes is that he and I, you know, high school sweethearts, 1975, we got together, but we still have friendships similar to yours. Maybe not as broad, but his friend is what? You guys have been friends for like almost 60 years. 60 years, yeah. And so they talk all the time. It amazes me. He was our chauffeur.
Wow.
We go out party and he would chauffeur us. You know.
He was a designated driver.
You mean that's what I was gonna say? That's the church way of saying he was my designated driver.
Even though he was just as intoxicated, but nevertheless. And I have friends too, the same way. I grew up with them, you know, at 2 and 3 years old. So we are now getting on a Zoom every month. And then friends from California, we calculate 40 years we've been knowing each other. So we're planning a reunion. So I'm challenging you guys to keep this going, even if it's in this vein, because with this whole airline thing going on, I don't know, don't get nowhere and get stranded with Southwest and they raggedy behind. I love it. But you know, y'all be diligent about that, because like you say, this is important. It's like your heart, it's your lifelong friendships that keeps you going. So you know, we value the friends that we've held on to through ups and downs and all the craziness in our life. They're still there. So we ain't too crazy.
Yeah.
So we want to close out. We always close out with a scripture.
Yes.
And our scripture for this evening comes from Proverbs 18:24. And it reads as thus: a man that has friends must show himself friendly. Mm-hmm. And there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Thank you all once again. We appreciate you coming on. It's really been an exciting night for us, and we're just so proud of you. So thank you so much. Bless you. Have a happy new year. May God's blessing continue to fall upon you and your family and your spouses and your children. Mm-hmm. And even though we're here in Atlanta, you know, you can always call mom and dad when you need something.
Always welcome.
Always welcome.
Always
welcome. Have a good night.
All right. Good night.
All right. Good night.